Internal monologue or inner voice. Today we're going to talk about internal thinking, your thought processes. Do you think out loud? How does it sound in your head? Do you have an internal monologue? What is an internal monologue? Let's have a definition. We've clearly got Wikipedia here. An internal monologue also called self-talk, inner speech, inner discourse, or internal discourse, is a person's inner voice which provides a running verbal monologue of thoughts while they are conscious. It is usually tied to a person's sense of self. It is particularly important in planning, problem-solving, self-reflection, self-image, critical thinking, emotions, and sub-vocalization, reading in one's head. As a result, it is relevant to a number of mental disorders such as depression and treatments like cognitive behavioral therapy, which seek to alleviate symptoms by providing strategies to regulate cognitive behavior. It may reflect both conscious and subconscious beliefs. There's also a little section on here of an absence of internal monologue. Let's just have a look at that quickly. According to one study, there is a wide variation in how often people report experiencing internal monologue, and some people report very little or none. Younger children are less likely to report using inner speech instead of visual thinking than older children and adults, though it is not known whether this is due to lack of inner speech or due to insufficiently developed introspection. Introspection is the examination of one's own conscious thoughts and feelings. Yeah, I have always had an internal monologue, and I was actually pretty shocked to discover that some people don't. I just assumed it was that way for everyone. And I'm a little bit weirded out by this, not going to lie. Like, my voice is there all the time. Everything I'm doing, I'm basically narrating my entire life and existence. If I'm in the kitchen or whatever I'm doing, I'm talking about it. It's like from the moment I wake up, I'm like, I'm getting out of bed now. What I'm going to wear today, I'm going to wear this. No, that needs to go in the wash. No, I should probably put the kettle on while I'm getting changed. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Not just about the stuff that I'm doing, but then also thinking, stuff about the past, stuff that I might do in the future, stuff that I need to be getting on with. Everything. It's quite distracting. It's a little bit annoying. But it had never occurred to me that some people just wouldn't have that. And if you don't have that, how are you thinking? Like, if you're thinking about yourself or what you're going to do for the day, or like, how is that occurring to you? How are you planning things? Like, how do you know what you're about to do next? Or do you not have conversations with yourself in your head? Like, what does that look like? I was wondering if this was because I've got aphantasia, which means I've got no visual anything, no visual memory or no visual imagination. So I was wondering if maybe I've got an internal monologue that's sort of compensating for that, because I can't see anything, but I can hear everything. So I had a look on the Facebook aphantasia page, and someone had posted this very thing. Since joining this group, I've been amazed to find out that some people have no inner voice. There are 116 comments on this. I'm not going to go through all of them. But it also seems to be completely split. Some people have an inner voice, some people don't. Some people have inner thoughts in words, but they can't hear them, but they do not see them, but they read them, but not audibly. Some people don't have this at all. And it seems really, really mixed. So actually, I don't think it has any connection to the aphantasia. It's very strange. I mean, it's only strange to me in the sense that people don't have it. I mean, someone even said here, inner voice here, annoying, thank you ADHD. Implying that they've got an inner voice because they've got ADHD. Don't think that's correct. Some people are saying it's constant and all the time. Some people are saying it's there but not very often. I'm not sure if I have one or not. Like, the thoughts are there but I don't hear anything. That's another common thing. I definitely hear it. I can hear it in my voice quite clearly. I can hear all the volume differences. I can hear the highs and lows. I can hear the inflections on my voice. I can hear myself doing different accents in my voice if I want to. It's a fun time. but it is there all the time, relentlessly. Like I can't switch it off. That's a problem. But I didn't know you, like, not supposed to have one. I don't know what is the norm for this. I can't seem to find any sort of relevant percentage on the amount of people that do have an inner voice versus that don't. Yeah, my brain never stops thinking or analysing. I'm autistic and have ADHD, and I'm honestly grateful I can't visualise. Really doubt my brain could take it. I don't have an inner voice, but I do have an inner jukebox. So that is somebody that can hear in their mind, but doesn't have an inner voice. That's interesting. I have constant songs, phrases going through my head. PTSD. The thoughts are there constantly, they just don't have a sound to them, no voice. So then what are the thoughts? What does that feel like? What does it feel like to have thoughts that you can't hear? And I mean, if you've got aphantasia, you're not seeing the words either. So in what format are the words that you're thinking? If you can't see them and you can't hear them, how are you conceptualizing your thoughts? I am so mind blown. It's I don't know. I don't even know. I'd really like to know what the percentage of people with this are. And also people with aphantasia that have an inner voice or don't have an inner voice. And also people with ADHD that have an inner voice versus those that don't. Because that seems to have come up a couple of times, but it doesn't seem like there's not enough of it for it to be a direct cause. Interesting. Do you have an internal monologue? Do you hear your voice in your head, or do you see your voice in your head? How do you conceptualize your thoughts when you're thinking or you're planning? What is in there? Do you have a running narrative of everything you're doing, or can you control it? Like, do you just think about the thoughts when you know you need to think them? Like for, I don't know, making lists or something. Or is it just relentless, like mine? Fascinating.